Hi, I'm Kim, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with Destiny and how I came to hear the Destiny message, while there's many people who tend to see Destiny as negative, or who push Destiny away, or call it a cult, or call it all sorts of names. And many people don't seem to really grasp the concept of Destiny, or seem to also be even threatened by Destiny. And many people have been calling Destiny a cult, and there's also many videos about Destiny as apparently a cult on YouTube, and for example a website from Rick Ross claiming Destiny as a cult as well, etc. So it's actually interesting that we've had throughout history several cults here or there, and for instance Scientology and several cults. Also one where everyone killed themselves or something, drinking Kool-Aid, or what was it? I don't know. And so our experience in society with cults has been really negative. So we will fear cults very much because of these experiences, of these collective memory that we have about cults in our society. So it's interesting to have a perspective from someone inside the apparent cult of Destiny, which isn't a cult, by the way. I'm just calling it I'm just using that word because there's just many people who use that word to define Destiny, even though they don't know anything about Destiny. So let's explore this point now of for instance, how did I came to hear the Destiny message? How did I came to hear what they're saying and consider their message and consider applying the tools of self-forgiveness and self-honesty and self-corrective application as what they present? And if you listen to their videos and if you go to their website, that's actually the basics of what they're presenting is these, applying these tools to get to a point of realizing who you really are and establishing yourself as a being who takes responsibility for themselves, which is their basic principle. And I found a really cool quote from Bernard Pullman that I'm going to use now to show how it is from the starting point within myself that got me to actually hear the Destiny message. So the quote is, the claim that one person cannot have the answer to life and that it is vested in the many condemn the many to never have the answer, as the many will always try to destroy the one and thus will be each other's undoing. So what this quote is actually saying is that, and that that was something that I could really identify with, is that there seems to be, in my life I've always sort of been, since I was 17 or something, I've been looking for an answer to life, to my life, to who I am, and I've been really looking for just answers because I had this feeling within myself like there has to be something, because when you look at this world and you look at just life in general, and I mean, it's just so fascinating that you have so many religions and so many, like, spirituality that's also like looking for the answer to life or the answer of who I am and self-realization, blah blah blah. But then you have all these subdivisions within spirituality where you have all these different kind of gurus and cults. I mean cults, no, you have different kind of gurus with different messages. You have Eckhart Tolle, you have Bashar, you have Osho, you have all the Indian gurus, etc. And then you have all the religions of the world, Christianity and I don't know, Zionism and Islam and I don't know. And so you have all these different subdivisions in life, apparently, as the human world, that claim that they have the answer to life. But then if you have a look at everything, if you kind of just step back and you take a look, then I mean, you kind of, it makes you wonder, like, who really has the answer and what is the answer? Because in the end, you're just kind of supposed to believe in the message that they are presenting, and you're just supposed to accept that that is the truth. But then, you have all these different kind of truths in the world, many of which kind of say the opposite of each other or kind of differently or whatever. So what really is the truth? I mean, really. So, I mean, it's easy to believe in something, but if you really have a look, what is it really? So that's kind of the sensation that I had within myself, and the way that it connects to this quote is that, the claim that one person cannot have the answer to life, and that it is vested in the many. It's like, it's like how we are in this world. It's how we are as human beings in relationship with each other. It's like we're kind of just supposed to accept the answer to life from our ancestors, from our family, from our religions, from our society. We're supposed to basically, like, life is some kind of opinion that we share with each other and that has different versions, and so therefore no one can ever truly know the answer to life, because each one of us has a different version of an answer to life, which is completely tainted by what we learned from our family and from our religious system and from our culture. So in that way, it's like, the answer to life is apparently vested in the many, though, in the many, but that condemns the many to never have the answer, because the many will always try to destroy the one. So that's because it's like within our relationships, especially in our family, we are being taught that we have to basically place our life in the hands of our family members and of society within these relationships that we kind of automatically build up, and to basically simply believe this answer to life that we learn from our parents and from our family. So therein we're kind of stuck in these relationships, and if you have a look, then who you are within these relationships is always like quite limited, because you're always your expression of who you are is always, and the way you see the world, the way you're allowed to express yourself is always limited to all these rules and to all these codes and to all these standards and norms about who you're supposed to be according to what life apparently is, according to the beliefs that exist in your family and that you get from your family. So within that, it's like the many will try to destroy the one. So if you decide to stand up as I am one, as the answer to life, as, I'm just gonna go and find my own answer, then you will be rejected out of the group, because then you will not be supporting the belief systems in the group anymore, so the group will not support you anymore, because you're not a part of the group anymore holding the group together, and the group always needs the members of the group to hold the group together. So if there's one member that's going like, I don't know, I choose to not believe in it, then the group will simply reject you as an automatic reaction from the group. That's what happens in society, but also that's what happens in family, and that's what happened to me in the beginning of my process with Destiny, where I started to question my entire existence, and I started to not comply anymore to anything that I had learned about what is apparently right and good. So therefore, it's like my friends and my family started to started to go against me and try to put me back in my position in the group. And it was various emotional reactions there, but what happened was literally that automatic pre-programmed reaction of the group to attack the one that doesn't comply to being just a part of the group. Okay, so that's a really cool statement to actually see and realize what the Destiny message is really about, and how I came to listen and hear the Destiny message, because I was kind of fed up with living in this world wherein I was searching for an answer to life, but I was seriously searching for an answer to life. I wasn't just looking for a religion. I got into spirituality for a while as it made me feel good about myself, but it wasn't it. Spirituality was actually just another belief system, and when I came across Destiny, I realized that, because what Destiny presented was actually the answer to life, which is yourself. Just look inside yourself, be the one. Don't be just a part of a group anymore. Don't just comply to all these relationships, and be the one. Stand up as the one and face yourself as life and live as the answer to life, because that's who you are. And that's actually obvious, and it's common sense once you start to realize yourself as alone, as all one, and once you start to actually consider the fact that I live, I am alive, I am here, I exist, me, no one else. I mean, in a sense of, this is me and I am here, I breathe. Whereas when I was just a part of my family, and when I saw myself as just a part of my family and just a part of the group, it was like I didn't really exist. Who I was basically just this compilation of belief systems and ideas and perceptions about what is right and what is wrong, and what is the apparent answer to life, in which I felt completely lost, because that was not the answer to life, which is obvious and evident when I look at the world. When I just take a quick look at the world, and I see that in the world there's all these things existing that just go against what I learned from my family. I mean, there's so many different belief systems, so how can I trust that my family's belief systems are right? I can't, obviously, because there's all these different families who believe different things, and so it's easy to get lost in that, and that's what I did. I mean, I got completely lost, and I felt completely lost, whereas, I just knew that when I read, when I heard what Destiny was presenting as the answer to life, which is basically get to know yourself, and you'll get to know the answer to life, because you are the answer to life. Why? Because you are life. It's so simple. And I knew that it's just common sense. That's just true. That's how it is. It's just common sense. So that's why I heard the Destiny message, and that's why I started applying self-forgiveness and self-honesty and writing to freedom as all the tools that they presented, because I was serious in getting to know the answer to life. I mean, really serious. I mean, so people who say or claim that they want to get to know the answer to life, or are on some kind of spiritual quest, yet they are not willing to consider what Destiny is saying, or not willing to apply the tools, they're not actually serious about truly getting to know the answer to life. They're actually looking for another religion to believe in so they can feel good about themselves, which is basically just, giving up. I mean, it's like complying, and it's like settling in to the status quo of this world within this good feeling wherein deep, 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 deep down inside yourself, you still kind of know, and you're still kind of aware of, you know, what you're doing. You're still kind of aware that you are in fact limiting yourself and your experience in this existence and inside yourself to some kind of belief system and some kind of idea, some kind of experience within yourself. You're not really expanding, and you're not really, really, really getting to the bottom of what is here and what is real and what is life. Because there's obviously so much more to life than we are willing to consider and willing to believe or see. So even though the whole spirituality quest for me, for instance, was giving me a nice feeling, meditating and believing myself to be a being of light, radiating love, and messing around with my chakras and energy and energetic experiences, even though it was kind of giving me a nice feeling within myself, I just knew that that wasn't who I am. That was not who I am. Definitely. So, I mean, because it's all just up there with the positivity and the light and the love, but there's so much more to this world. For instance, there's all this negativity of which we're supposed to not speak of, because it's negative, so, you know, I mean, we're supposed to just let that exist, yet not in my world, not because I'm positive, yet, you know, that all exists, so, I don't know, and so the message of Destiny, to really get to know yourself as all that exists, to not run away from what is negative, but to look it in the eyes and to actually stand one and equal with negativity, with positivity, with everything there is. That was so much common sense, and it was real. It was just real, you know. It wasn't good and it wasn't positive, and it didn't particularly make me feel good inside, but it was real. And that's just something that we have never experienced ever. Because it's not really an experience, it's just like a sort of a self-awareness or a knowing, like, this is real, and when it's real, it's real. It cannot be explained. It can only be seen, experienced as yourself when you're applying the tools, you know, it's real. You know, it's not easy like religion and spirituality. It's not so very nice sometimes, or pleasant sometimes, but you know, it's real. So it's the only way. It's really the only way. So that's why I heard the Destiny message, and that's why I know that I'm not in a cult of any sorts. In fact, it's quite the opposite, because I'm unculting myself, and I'm unraveling myself as the cult that I have become, as all these belief systems that I've simply allowed to exist within myself, and I'm just basically facing myself completely. I'm facing life completely, which is obviously, commonsensically, the only answer that there really is to life. Obviously, I mean, that should be so evident to all of us, yet for some reason it isn't, and that's just, you know, the only reason why people would call Destiny a cult and then actually believe themselves when they make such claims, when they haven't even really considered what Destiny is saying. They haven't even done their research or applied self-forgiveness. They haven't done anything. They've just, you know, experienced some kind of feeling within themselves and trusted on that, and then when said Destiny is a cult, people who actually believe themselves, they are just simply so lost inside their own world of positivity and energy and experiences within themselves. It's like, these people have given up. There's no other answer to that. These people have just given up on themselves as life. They've given up on getting to know the answer to life, and they have actually just complied to believing what has been basically programmed into them to believe about the world. Such as, for instance, the whole program of a cult is bad. you know, I must get as far away as possible from a cult as I can, and we must fight cults, blah blah blah, which is just accepting a belief system that's been programmed into us, for instance. So that's basically giving up on life and giving up on yourself. So for those who have not yet given up on themselves and who really are interested in getting to know who they really are, who you really are, and getting to know life and finding out the answer that is actually real and standing as one as the answer, because, you know, within the realization that it's just really messed up, this apparent belief that one person cannot have the answer to life, which is in this statement, that's just not true. That's the whole confusion that's going on in reality, because here we are with all our different forms of belief systems about what is apparently right and wrong and what is life, yet everyone's running around like a headless chicken, not knowing what life actually is, looking to each other for answers and believing each other for answers, but really we're really lost beings and no one really knows for sure. And this will eventually cause us to self-destruct, because we don't know what the hell we're doing, as we do not have the answer to life. We think we do because we've given up on ourselves and we've complied to simply believing what's been handed to us as the answer to life, as the apparent answer to life, instead of looking at reality, looking at what is really going on in this world, and considering the fact that simply the mere fact that we all personally believe that I have the answer to life and everybody else is wrong, I mean, that's just in itself means that nobody really knows, because there can only be one answer to life, obviously, because life is life, and it should be the same for each and every one of us, because we're all alive, we're all living, we're all here. Therefore, the answer to life is the one, is who I am, within and as myself, and has nothing to do with religions and spirituality or belief systems or ideas. And it has to be still realized. That's what the process of self-realization is, that Destiny presents, is actually realizing the answer to life within myself as who I am. So for those who are interested in what is actually real, I would strongly suggest to have a look at the Destiny website and the Destiny material, www.destiny.org. Thank you.